guys, today I'm filming my summer favorites for 2019. So this year, instead of doing monthly favorites, I have been doing seasonal favorites, and I do really enjoy that. I do feel like maybe for the random favorites, like it's not as up to date because maybe some of the songs I loved in June I did not end up loving at the end of August, but for the beauty favorites I think it makes a lot of sense, and I am happy that I'm doing it this way. So I do have a decent amount of products here, which is super exciting. So just jumping right in, the first thing is something I actually just used up. This was part of my summer project pan. I'll have that playlist linked up in the cards. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in the shade Snow. I'm so happy I put it into my project because this is something that I had been on the fence about whether I really loved it or not, and I think it just doesn't work the best in combination with the Peach Perfect powder. That can be a little too mattifying, too drying, and then it alters the shade too much for me. So I have the shade Snow, which is a little deep for me. It worked so well in the summer for me, but when I repurchase this, because I'm going to get the shade Swan, which is a little lighter, a little more yellow tone, which I think will be amazing. And you guys, this is such a great product. You get 1.6 fluid ounces of foundation, which is amazing because most products are only 1 fluid ounce, and the price of this is still really good. So this is a really nice medium coverage foundation that does have a matte finish. Something I've noticed about this is that it is not very buildable. I can add a little bit of extra product on my cheeks to try to build it up, but this is something that it doesn't necessarily mesh well together, whether you let it dry a little bit or apply a second layer right away. It just isn't that buildable, and that's something I really hated at first, but now I've gotten used to that. I'm okay with a little bit of my skin showing through, because once I do go in with concealer and powder and the rest of my cheek products, my skin looks full coverage anyway, so I've come to be okay with the amount of coverage this gives. This just looks beautiful on the skin, and it does help keep me matte for a decent amount of time. So this is something I actually love enough to repurchase it, and I don't repurchase foundations very often because I am really picky, and this one is incredible. If you have very oily skin, I do recommend it. If you have more of a normal skin type or even combination, I might not, because I know my friend Jean has combo skin and she felt like this was a little bit too dry on her. I think it just depends if you like something like super matte or if you like something that's like a little bit more natural, but I would say for very oily skin, absolutely, and then maybe combination, but this is an amazing product. I really wish the Peach Perfect line was sold at Ulta so I could get my points and I could use coupons more often, but unfortunately this line is exclusive to Sephora. But I love everything in this line complexion wise, not the other stuff, but the setting spray, the powder, the foundation, and the primer I think are all incredible, but this is holy grail and I will repurchase it during the Sephora VIB sale. So the first 3 products here are all things that I fell in love with thanks to Project Panty, which is just another one of the great reasons why I enjoy doing it. So again, the first one was the Too Faced foundation I fell in love with, and then the next one is the Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in the shade Sin. This is a gorgeous champagne. I do have a decent amount of a dip in here. The formula of this is so pigmented, it's very smooth. It's not a gelée highlight, and I don't love the gelée formula because I feel like I have to really dig my brush in there. It doesn't work well with all brushes, or it just picks up some of the more glittery pieces. This looks amazing on the skin and I love it so much. I do believe that this has been discontinued, which is a shame. I purchased mine at Marshall's for $9 or $10. I am considering buying a backup. I love it that much, which is insane. I never feel that way about highlighters, but this is rivaling my Mary Luminizer from the Balm. This is, again, a product I like more in the summer because it is a little bit darker of a champagne, but it's a really nice warm tone, but it's not a gold, so it does work for my fair skin tone. The formula and color are incredible. This is like an absolute favorite of mine. I'm so happy that I purchased it and put it in a project because I fell in love. Next is another item I had in a project. This is the Maybelline Lasting Drama liner in the shade Striking Copper. Both of these were in my Fun in the Sun project pan. So This is an incredible gel liner. It is very pigmented, it's very creamy. It does last for a decent amount of time, so I just put this on my lower lash line, and my eyes run a lot, they water a lot, and I'm often, you know, kind of rubbing and tapping them out. So I think I'm more wiping this away than it is fading away itself. But this is so creamy, it's very easy to apply. I don't have to sharpen it very often, and unfortunately I do think this shade was discontinued as well. You can find this on eBay and Amazon, and I highly recommend it. The color is gorgeous and the formula is really, really nice, and this is something that I've really enjoyed adding to my lower lash line. You guys know I usually leave my lower lash line alone, but then I feel like my eyes look a little unbalanced, and the reason I've left it alone is usually because I don't like the way it looks or it just runs too badly. But this one I just do right on my lower lash line. I do it more towards like the outer 3/4, and I make it a little thicker on the outer side here, and I think it's really flattering to my eye shape, and the color is as well. So highly, highly recommend this, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Next thing I have would be a palette. This is the LA Girl Haute Hope Heat, and I think that there's two different names for them, but I don't know what this, oh yes, here it is. Oh my gosh, the tiniest little writing here over the freaking barcode. Vacay Everyday is this one. There is a more colorful one, and I got the more warm tone one, of course. So I have not tried very much from LA Girl at all, and when I swatched this on my Ulta, I was incredibly impressed by how pigmented it was. And I love that you have all these warm neutrals, but then you also have more purple tones, which are my favorites. So I did make an Instagram story highlight showing you all the different looks I created using this palette. So for some reason I was really trying to make myself not like this and return it, because I think I had just bought so many palettes that month I was feeling really guilty about it. But this is incredible. These metallics are so pigmented, they're so insanely reflected and metallic. It puts other shimmer shadows to shame. Okay, it is insane. I do like the mattes as well. I think they are pigmented, they do build well, they do blend really nicely, but the stars of the show would definitely be the metallics in here. This color and this color are incredible. This is more of like a duochromatic shade similar to Makeup Geek Mai Tai. Love, love, love. This palette is so good, and it is already gone from the Ulta website for some reason, but if you can still find these in stores, highly recommend it. The palette was like 15 bucks and it's incredible. I'm going to use basically all the shades except for those three probably, but everything else I will use, and I think it's amazing. Highly, highly recommend. Really impressed by the quality. The next product I have is the Fenty Beauty Flyliner, which is her liquid lining pen. This, I'm trying to see if it's a brush tip or a felt tip. I think it's a felt tip, so that might mean it's going to dry out quickly, but this is such a great shape. It is the perfect size. It's not too skinny or too fat. It's so easy to line my upper lash line and to create a wing, and it is really nice matte black. I did use this on my eyes today. So easy, so foolproof, and I think the packaging is really cute that it's shaped kind of like triangular. Then I have 3 lip products, and I haven't had this many lip product favorites in a while, it feels like, and I really cut down on my go-to summer lip products because I don't really like bright colors anymore. But this is a color and a formula that was just so easy for me to reach for, and I really enjoyed it. This is a ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Champagne Mami, which is just this beautiful, I don't even know, like neutral peachy shade with some shimmer. There is shimmer in here. I can feel it a little bit, but not bad. And I'm someone that has like hypersensitive lips, and if something has shimmer in it, I will feel it and it will drive me nuts. This did not bother me. So unfortunately, it does have this stupid brush tip applicator, but it hasn't frayed or anything like that. It is nice and short, which I think helps with that, but it's very easy to apply on the lips. It does give about a medium opacity. It has a beautiful shine, and this is something I just love slapping on, and this is a really nice formula. So I've had this for a year and it still has not gone bad, which is amazing for ColourPop products, so I'm very happy to have this. I do have the shade Feedback as well, which is a little bit brighter, but this is the one I've used the most this summer, and I would definitely recommend it. Next lip products were a new formula to me, and I did get these, I think they were 40% off at Ulta for like just one weekend, and these are the Dose of Colors and Desi and Katy Velvet lip colors. So I love the Dose of Colors matte liquid lipsticks. I think they have such beautiful shades. The formula is really awesome, but I had never tried their Velvet formula. I'm pretty sure these are the only shades they've released in the Velvet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I had to pick up both of them. I have worn them both in videos. So this one is a Mauve Story, which is like slightly like a warm mauve. There's like a little bit of tan in there. This isn't as cool tone or as purpley as Stone from Dose, which I like since it's a different color. And then we have my main, which is like a terracotta nude, like a light warm brown nude, which I didn't think I would like, but I really did end up liking it. I wore it with that like intense copper metallic from the LA Girl Haute Hope Heat palette, and I loved it. So this is similar to a ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip. It is like a thinner consistency. It is long wearing on the lips, but it doesn't set down completely. I did get a little bit of that white inner rim, so I did just have to blend it out and it was fine. But I really love this formula, and I would love it if they would release some more shades in the future. I was really impressed by this, and if you can still get these from the Ulta website, I do recommend it. Then I have a couple brush favorites that are all from Morphe. So I mentioned some Morphe brushes in my spring favorites, but I forgot to mention one brush, and then I started testing and loving two more brushes after that favorites. So the first one is an eye brush. This is the Morphe M210, which is the best lid packing brush. I like this more than my MAC 239, and I never thought I would say that, but that's because this is so skinny and precise. It packs on so much intense color and pigment onto the lid. I love it. I used something different today. I actually used my MAC brush today because the shadow I was using was a little bit more dusty, but if you do have something that you need to like dig your brush into it a little bit to pick up the product, this is perfect. Best lid brush ever, and I think this was like $4 or $5. Definitely recommend that one. This one, that one, that'll make no sense. I recommend. I'm confused. Move on. So the next brush is the Morphe R31, and I believe my friend Dani had raved about this, which is why I ended up purchasing this as a highlight brush. And again, with some of those big Gelée highlighters, my little fluffy highlighter brushes don't work with them. It just gets a lot of glitter. It doesn't actually pick up the base pigment. This does a great job of really like digging in the product and then placing it on your cheekbone, and then I can blend it out a bit as well. So perfect with Gelée highlighters. Definitely recommend this brush for formulas like that. I mean, it works well with other highlights, but for things that are like really powdery, I think this might put too much product in the cheeks, but for Gelée highlights, it's incredible. The next brush I have is from the Morphe Jeffree Star collection. This is the JS1, and I think that he was using this for foundation, but I've been using this to apply powder. And because this is so dense, it actually holds the powder in here and it doesn't make such a mess. I discovered this in my summer project pan when I was panning the Pretty Vulgar loose powder. That one does not apply well with the sponge, so I had to use a brush. I was using this other Japanese brush, and I was going through the powder so quickly, it was going everywhere, it was making a mess. This made my powder last longer because it's so dense, it just like soaks up the powder and helped me apply it to my skin without making a mess or wasting product. So this is incredible for packing on powder. I'm sure it'd be good for foundation as well, but that would be a beast to try to clean out liquid foundation from this. But for powder foundations or for colored powders, translucent powder, powder in general, this brush is so good. Highly recommend this one. And then I do have one more beauty favorite, and this is a sunscreen, which is so weird. This is the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen with broad spectrum SPF 40. So this is like a silicone primer, which is amazing because this is the kind of sunscreen that I will wear under my makeup, and I am terrible about SPF. I never go outside. Like I go outside like as little as possible, but I know that obviously rays affect you all year long, not just the summer, but this is something that I'm going to use up, and I can see myself actually purchasing in the full size with a coupon, of course, because I think this is like a high-end sunscreen. But because it was that silicone consistency, it worked so well under my makeup, and SPF 40 is great. So I feel like I have the hardest time wearing sunscreen with my makeup. This was amazing. So I do recommend this for days when you are going to be putting makeup on. Otherwise, I really like the Neutrogena sunscreens for my face when I'm just like at the beach, no makeup. But this, under makeup, amazing. Highly, highly recommend it. So those are all for the beauty favorites. Now onto the random favorites. The next favorite of mine would be my Instagram stories. So I have not been posting a ton of different pictures on my Instagram. I've been really terrible about it this year, but throughout June, July, and August, I have been reviewing products and I've been showing you different looks using different palettes on my Instagram stories, and I've been saving them all as highlights. So please go check out my Instagram, which is just at loveheatherette. So on my Instagram stories highlights, I do have one for the Sephora Sunkissed favorites set. So I did actually do a demo and review of all those products, and then I believe the rest of them are all different highlights showing you different looks using the same palette. So I've done it with the Juvia's Place Nubian, Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm, Tarte Adeline Moran, I always say that wrong, Ella Girl Haute Hope Heat, and maybe a couple others, which that has been so fun because I haven't been doing my palette of the month videos because honestly they take a lot of time to film and to edit and put together, and even though I like the finished product, I don't get a ton of views on those videos. So it's just as easy for me to show you guys the looks on my Instagram stories and save them as highlights, and I've really been enjoying doing that. So I would really appreciate if you guys would go check them out and let me know if you guys have any other suggestions of stuff to post on my stories. It's just easier to post things on my stories than it is to film and edit and upload a video. So let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to see, but I've really, really been enjoying that. Then I've got a TV show. So I think it was in June, my family had our annual vacation to the beach, but I hate the beach. I hate being outside. I hate the sand. I hate the sun. It is too hot. But I ain't gonna miss a vacation and some time off of work. So my family spent their nice time at the beach, and I spent the time inside the house watching YouTube, sleeping in, editing videos, and watching Netflix. And like, I know how lame that sounds, but for me, just to have a break from work is amazing. And that was like my perfect summer vacation. So I ended up watching this show called Girls Incarcerated on Netflix. There are 2 different seasons. This is basically just about young adult females that are in prison and kind of their stories. And it was amazing. I cried. I felt like so emotionally connected to these girls. Not as much season 2, definitely season 1 though. So this show just really touched my heart, and part of it made me be like, ooh, do I want to try to be a counselor at female young adult prison? And then I realized maybe not. Might be a little scary. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I did see their connection with her counselor, and it was so sweet to me. It made me be like, I don't know, it pulled my heartstrings. It made me consider it, but it was really awesome show. And to hear the stories of these poor kids was so sad. I know one of the girls, her mom like kidnapped her and shot her up with drugs for like days, and then hello, she became addicted, and that was just so disgusting and sad. And all of those girls have experienced so much pain and hurt and trauma in their life, and it was just really nice to be able to hear about them. And again, it reminded me that I know the clients I work with have all experienced some insane stuff. So I'm only seeing the way that they're acting and behaving right now, but then it kind of shows me I need to remind myself that they probably have been through so much stuff that's led them to behave and act the way that they do today. So it was just a great show. I really loved it so much. It touched my heart, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix. Then I told myself I was not going to watch it, but I have been, and that would be The Hills New Beginnings. So I used to love The Hills. Lauren Conrad is like my #1 favorite celebrity ever. I loved her so much, especially in high school. I have her style book, her beauty book, and I just think she's so sweet and kind. And I used to despise Kristen Cavallari, of course, because I love Lauren Conrad, but I have started watching Kristen Cavallari's TV show that she's had on E! For I think 2 seasons. I do really enjoy that one. But I just was like, oh my gosh, so what's The Hills going to be without the 2 of them? Misha Barton was joining the show, which I thought was ridiculous because she was not on The Hills. Turns out she's like one of my favorite characters because she is such like a down-to-earth, chill person, and the group needs that. Then they have like Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's son, which he's like so much younger than the rest of them. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but it's fine. But it's been really interesting. Stephanie can't stand her. Never could. Still can't. I think she's a troublemaker. I do love Audrina now. Like, she brings some things upon herself for sure, but Stephanie's like a jerk and I totally don't like her. Spencer and Heidi, I do think that their love is real, and it's been cool to see that they're still together and they're doing so well. Spencer, I think, has really calmed down, and the whole thing with him and Brody is really sad. And I think, again, Spencer loves Brody so much that he has been such a big part of his life. The fact that Brody like doesn't care about Spencer anymore, I think just breaks Spencer's heart, and he's just like acting out about it. But I surprisingly have been enjoying that show, and I seriously thought I was gonna hate it. I was so against it, and I like it, and I would love to chat with you guys about that show. Of course, I'm watching all the Housewives, I always do, and I've been loving that. And oh yeah, I've been watching the Real Housewives OC, Broadwin, the new housewife. I really love her so far, and usually I'm like about the new people. She's fitting right in. The fact that Shannon liked her right away shows you something. She's awesome. I really like her. So then I have a couple songs. Easy by Lil Bebe. And wait, what? Lil Bebe. And oh, Dani Leigh is the artist, and the songs are Lil Bebe and Easy. I'm like, what does that song even sound like? I can't remember it, but I did enjoy them. Truth Hurts by Lizzo. Of course, she's amazing. I love all of her songs, but this is one that's been my favorite. I love whenever it comes on the radio. Like, they can't play it enough for me. And then Indigo by Chris Brown. Chris Brown has such an amazing voice. He is such a great dancer. So I will have the music videos for all of those songs listed down below if they're available. So guys, that was my summer favorites. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please let me know your favorite products in the comments down below, and I would love to know your thoughts on these products here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.